Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right. Happy Hump Day. Hump Day on a NFL playoff weekend coming up. Cannot wait for this. Well, it's going to be happening. It's going to be a historic happening. We've never, ever had 2 consecutive home games in the playoffs. I think that's right? Yeah, I think that's right. So it's a big weekend for the Buccaneers. Tickets are going for lots and lots of money. I don't think we're going to get a lot of Rams fans here, so this could be one of the most, I think, loudest games in the history of Raymond James Stadium. This is going to be up for grabs. You guys did an awesome job last week. You were a winning edge, no doubt about it. The fans were a huge winning edge last week against Philadelphia. You got the energy going early, suffocated that Eagles offense, got Jalen Hurts out of his rhythm. The defense just got energized, and it was a steamroll from there. Brady took over, surgically diced them up, and the Eagles were toast. They were toast. How about Tom Brady trolling the Eagles this morning with his little explain, Nick at usoutkick.com, where you were just showing me.
Yeah, Tom had some time on his hands this morning with TikTok going after the Eagles. If you remember back to that Super Bowl where he dropped that pass there right off the fingertips.
Yes.
They never let him live that one down, but coming off this win,
they asked him about it in the press conference last week.
Press conference, but he put the caption on this little TikTok when Eagles fans say you can't catch, played that one, and then played Jalen Hurts massively overthrowing one on Sunday, and Brady on the sideline just catching it and putting his hands in the air and
bobbled it a little bit.
Little bobble,
yeah.
But he held on to it this time, give it a little LFG.
And then threw it into the stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He felt like trolling this morning.
Good for him. Good for him. How you feeling, Eagles fans? How you feeling? How's that quarterback draft look to you right now? Yikes. All right. We got lots of fun coming up on the show this morning. Our usual visit with Bruce Gradkowski, PFF lead analyst for quarterbacking, and we'll get his take on all the quarterbacks left in the playoffs. And then Chris Torello, Spectrum Sports 360, will join us as well at 11 o'clock. We'll get his take on the Bucs and USF. We didn't talk about that yesterday or this week. You haven't forgot to bring that up.
I didn't want to bring it up. Why are you doing this right now?
Got you at UCF got the ass kicked.
I don't want to hear about it.
I think Coach Gregory's going to have to come on the show every Friday now.
I don't think he does.
We got him a little JP magic when they busted out that can of whoop ass on UCF there. You were getting all up in Coach Gregory's grill. Oh, what about this UCF guy? What about that UCF guy? Yeah, how'd they do?
They weren't ready.
They weren't
ready.
Did they not get the game time?
No, they weren't. They weren't. There was traffic on I-4, man. So hard to get here.
Hey, that's believable.
I know.
Extremely believable.
Trust me. I'm wearing my UCF Knights hoodie this morning. Torello's coming on. That's a nightmare.
He's going to just destroy you.
Oh, I know.
I cannot wait. That's going to be fun. I'll have to remind him. So Chris will join us at 11 o'clock. Always fun to visit with him. We'll talk all things local sports there. They're trying to get me on the face-off. You know, this face-off segment they have there?
Yes.
I think the problem is nobody wants to face off with me.
Nobody wants to face off with JP.
No, I don't think they don't want any of the smoke. People probably get mad when I do this. Yeah, I'm joking. We're just having fun here. But they don't want any of the smoke. No way. They don't want any of it. So I'm going to spice things up. See, I'm not going to do, just a little bit of the regular stuff. I'm going to spice things up. They may not be ready for that. So we'll see. We'll have some fun with it. Absolutely. And what else we got going? Oh, we got to get to the Lightning too. Lightning with a big win last night. I love late night Lightning games. I was on the We the Thunder podcast last night with Scooter and the Stash. That was fun. We had a really good chat. We chatted a lot about the Rays stadium situation. By the way, we'll have an update on the Rays rally on the show this morning. I'll try to get that in here in the first segment. Well, I'll just do it right now. We sent out the email last night to all the email addresses that we got. We got a bunch of them. If you represent a fan group, especially, this is not necessarily for just individual fans that want to be on the call tonight or tomorrow night. We're going to do a Zoom call tomorrow night to get a lot of input from the fans and these fan groups on what you want to do. Our basic plan right now is to our tentative date is March 5th, Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. So just come. We're going to do it for an hour or so. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do the whole walk through Ybor because we're looking at different venues. The K-Force venue is probably not going to be doable for a lot of legal reasons. So it's either going to be a public park in Ybor, or maybe if we can get Curtis Hickson or Julian B. Lane or one of those parks downtown, I think would be really good. And it's going to kind of depend on what kind of feedback we're getting. I mean, from the early feedback, I'm thinking we're going to get a significant amount of Rays fans. I really do. We need it to be in the thousands. We really do, because if it's not in the thousands, then it's just going to give Stu Sternberg more ammunition to get his scheme, his sister city scheme through. So we got to represent. We got to start talking about it. So hopefully we'll solidify the date. Again, permitting and all this other stuff is part of it. So that takes some time. So we hopefully will have a date by next week. And that will give us, probably a strong month or so to be able to really get the word out and get people out there. So very excited about this. And we're, in case you don't know, obviously Christopher Palermo, our title sponsor, he's the guy that really has been pushing this. And, 5-generation Tampanian, his great grandfather played baseball with Al Lopez. This guy is he is passionate about keeping our Rays here. He puts his money where his mouth is. He was the one behind those TV commercials that you saw. And, this is not going to be, three guys with a boombox. We're going to have a stage. We're going to have a video board. We're going to have a podium. We're talking to a lot of big hitters that are in the baseball world here locally and trying to get their input, getting videos from them to support our cause, support the fans' cause of a full-time team here. So yeah, we're aiming big. We're shooting for the stars. We got funding. We've got legal representation. We've got a lot of energy. We have the truth on our side. We have the plan on our side. I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic that this will send a message to our leaders and to Major League Baseball that we are not a sister city. That's a joke. We're the most dynamic sports market in America. The only one who doesn't think so is Stu Sternberg, and that's just because he wants to make more money. That's all this is. It's nothing but a scheme. And we've talked about it ad nauseum, but we're going to keep talking about it. We're going to keep driving it home to get all these false narratives just destroyed, so that when it comes time for the commission to vote and for the mayor to put her backing behind a plan, it's going to be for the full season. And if it's not for the full season, it's nothing. And that's going to be the choice of Major League Baseball, and it's going to be Stu Sternberg. Major League Baseball has complained for decades about not having a, quote, stadium solution. We're going to drop a stadium solution right in their freaking lap, and we're going to say, we're going to pay half, and you pay half, just like the Rangers and the Braves did. What's wrong with this? What's wrong? What's wrong? Stu Sternberg's wrong. And we're going to clearly show that this complete scheme of theirs is non-workable from the player standpoint, from the fan standpoint, from the political standpoint. I mean, they don't have a leg to stand on. The only thing they have is the threat of moving. And Major League Baseball does not want to move from this market. Why would they? When they got a humongous fan base here in the Rays. A team that went to the World freaking Series 2 years ago, been to the playoffs 3 years in a row, gets some of the best TV ratings in the world. It's clear that the stadium location and the stadium itself is the problem. Why would Major League Baseball leave a Luke market like this? That's exploding. It's ridiculous. And the only impediment, as once the smoke clears and everybody stops, being the smoke and mirrors that the Rays are putting out and all these false narratives, once that all clears, and I think this lead up to the rally will do a lot of that, then everybody's going to see it for what it is. It's nothing but a scheme. And at that point, Stu's going to have to go, could he wait till 2027 and go to Nashville or someplace else? I guess, but is that what Major League Baseball really wants? No, they want expansion teams in Nashville, where they can get a $2 billion expansion fee. So, I mean, come on. We're in the good position here, and I'm very excited Richie P just emailed us. He's all in. I hope you got the email, Richie P. We're all good. If you didn't, send me your email. So if you want to send an email, especially if you have a fan group, and we're defining a fan group as 10 or more, but you got to pledge that you're going to bring 10 or more. All right. So just email me, jp@thejppetersonshow.com. That ain't too hard to remember. jp@thejppetersonshow.com. And we'll take care of you. And if you have any complaints about the show, email my boss, jp@thejppetersonshow.com. I was speaking with someone last night about our show, which, by the way, we just got a nice little message from a national syndicator that's interested in syndicating our show. You want to syndicate the show nationally? Have any interest in that?
I mean, what am I going to say? No?
Of course not. You're going to say no. You're going to say that's awesome. That's fantastic. But we have this particular person works at another station in another market, and I was just telling them how much more fun this is, that I don't have these corporate people and sales managers and all these people breathing down my neck about things you say. That's why we can say the things that we say on this show, the unvarnished truth. This is not coming from some corporate filter from 17 geeks upstairs saying you can't say this and you can't say that. Because trust me, folks, it's happening at every sports radio station in America. Guys saying stuff they don't believe in because they want to keep their jobs. And that's all over the media. Trust me, that's happening. I hear it all the freaking time. I have guys in other markets that listen to our show and they say, man, how can you say that stuff? I mean, I love it. It's what I want to say, but I can't say it on the air. I'm like, because we're doing our own thing, man. We're doing our own thing. We're, we have sponsors that allow us to speak. We're not saying anything radical here. We're saying lots of stuff that people get pissed off at, and then 6 months later, it comes out to be exactly true. Hydroxychloroquine. I didn't say that, though. We don't get kicked off Twitter again. I mean, all these things, we're allowed to do this. And I hope, and if you guys, by the way, if you want to support the show financially, we would love that. I mean, we've got great sponsors that support us, and we're doing well. We can do a lot better, and we can do a lot more for you. We want to get a bigger studio. We want to get bigger, better whistles and all these other things. So if you want to support the show, you can, we don't have it set up yet, but I know we can do this on YouTube and Venmo and all different kinds of things. So I think people email me and say, hey, can we, give you bits like they do on Twitch? And we got to set it up so we can do that. There's a button on YouTube. You can do it. So look into that. My IT guy over here, and you can support the show. So we really appreciate you listeners out there, and we're growing by leaps and bounds each and every day. And we have nothing but you guys to thank, and crappy programming other places. So it doesn't hurt. All right. The Lightning last night, they get a big 6-4 win. Now that was an entertaining game to watch. Did you watch the game last night?
I did. I
was only up till like 3:30 in the morning doing work on, on the rally.
I saw you
Did you get my email at 2:47 in the morning?
I saw the tweets at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I know. It's going to be an interesting day the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. I got good energy today, though. I mean, come 2 o'clock, I'm going to pass out face first on the concrete, but I got good energy. No, it was fun last night watching the game. I don't know who was officiating the game, what clown show that was.
Your Eric Furlat, Gord Dwyer.
My God.
The Lightning were 0-7 last year.
Was
when
it
those guys
Chandra
officiated
Alfonso? One of those guys? I love saying their name. They don't let me say the officials' names anymore.
They really don't?
No, they gave it to Paul Porter.
That's lame.
Totally lame, because I used to do it with such flair. Maybe they didn't like the flair. I don't know. Anyway.
They don't deserve the flair.
They don't deserve it.
Especially after last night.
Especially Eric Furlap, whatever the hell that was. I mean, it was awful last night. I mean, guys it got out of control. Guys can get injured when that crap happens. The slew foot from what's his face on Braden Point, who damn whooped his ass, by the way.
Yeah.
Those first 2 rights. Did you see that mark on his face?
Yes, I did.
Woo!
Yes, I did. Braden Point was pissed, man.
He should be pissed.
And I think Imblom even called that out. That goes back to something that happened in the Stanley Cup between those 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So carrying over.
Yeah, but the man of the match last night was Victor Hedman. 3 points, couple of goals, big goals, and the dude played last night almost the entire game. They only had 4 defensemen last night with Chernak and Ruda and Bogosian out, and Palat out. All those guys were out. They only had 4D, and he couldn't have been more excited about it. We're going to play his post game here in a second. Let's play a little bit of Hedman highlight here. He was freaking phenomenal. Is this the 4-3 goal?
This is the first goal.
First goal.
He ripped it.
Score, gave it up. Here's Hedman with a breakaway. Hedman in. He scores! Victor Hedman with a breakaway, and he buries it. And it's 1-0 Lightning.
When you get a good bounce, you got to make it pay, and Victor Hedman does this. He's all over Jay Kopitar, following him right out to the blue line. And then the pass takes a bad bounce over Olimato's stick. And Victor Hedman is the way to the races. He's got the speed.
Peterson had no
and
chance.
He's a shooter. He's not going to mess around here. Make a little move. He goes over the pad, under the glove of Peterson, the right-handed catcher. What a great way to start the game for Victor Hedman. Like any player, when you score a goal relatively early in the game, it gives you a lot of juice. And when Victor Hedman is juiced up, that means he's all over the ice for 200 feet, and the LA Kings will have their hands full.
Boy, did he call that one.
Yeah.
Ryan Engholm nailed it. Dave Rayburn on the call, the Valley Sports Sun. Curtis, awesome. I mean, he was all over the freaking ice last night, and he got cross-checked from behind in a little scrum. What a cheap shot that was!
Yeah, and the little 2-minute minor, it should have been a major.
What
Most
the
likely
heck
for
was
that.
that?
All night, man. All night that was going on, and just curious penalties, giving them power plays that probably weren't warranted, keeping them in the game. But
did you sense that there was a little payback, or just it kind of felt like the New Orleans game against the Bucs? Like, we know where you're going, so we're gonna keep you from going there.
I mean, when you get two of your best four players, I mean, you get a slew foot and a bad cross check like that.
That's awful.
You can't help but think otherwise.
I know. Is this the treatment the Lightning's going to get the rest of the way? Come on, NHL, you're better than that. And the officials, they condoned it for all intents and purposes. That's why that got out of hand.
Well, I said it. That officiating crew, specifically last year, the Lightning were 0-7 when they had that officiating.
Really?
Crew. There's a real thing there with this officiating crew.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's something to watch. Better not get them in the playoffs.
No.
Have we got another goal here from Heddy?
Yeah, we'll get the second Hedman goal.
This is the one that made it 4-3? Yeah.
Trevor Moore, here's Hedman. Hedman in, shoots, he scores! Victor Hedman with his second goal of the night, and the Lightning retake the lead.
Victor Hedman, another brilliant shot. This time he goes low stick side on Peterson instead of high glove. But the Lightning do a great job along the wall. And patience, get in on the forecheck. But as the puck comes up the wall, there's the play by Braden Point. And then he gets help from Kucherov. And then Kucherov makes a backhand play, catching two LA Kings along the wall. And
awesome.
That allows Victor Hedman time and room to walk down and think about his shot, just like he did on his breakaway. This time he caught stick side. Excellent work by Point and Perry and Kucherov.
Yeah, excellent play. I love, something good's going to happen when Kucherov gets the puck and like two guys come to him.
Yeah.
It's almost like, come on over, get out of position, and I'm going to find. And the Lightning players know, okay, going to go to the open space. He's going to find me.
It feels like since he's been back too, he's really going to those dirty areas, and he's starting to get in on the wall there. And
we
play
talked
really
about
well.
that last night on the podcast. He's a much better player.
Yeah, he seems like that time off, he's turned into a much more well-rounded player. He's still the engine of the team, and since he's come back, I mean, they're scoring at great rates, obviously, but when Hedman comes out and he's shooting, I think we used to always say he needs to shoot more.
Yep.
When he's shooting
When
with
he's jumping
confidence,
in,
I mean, it's a different team, completely different team.
Yeah. If he doesn't win the Norris again this year,
He's in the running. And even your boy yesterday too, Matthew Joseph, let's not let his game go untalked about either. I mean, he was one of the other best players on the ice.
Yeah, I thought he was tremendous last night. And that's that setup that he did for Belmar.
Oh my goodness.
We got that one?
Yeah, we do.
That was like four guys. That was a shorty, right?
Yeah.
So four guys come to Matt. First of all, he does a great job of getting the puck and speeding away. And then four guys come to him, and he just definitely leaves it for Belmar. Sweet play.
And then feeds it up for Belmar. Belmar in. He scores! The Lightning strike right back with a short-handed goal of their own. And look at the reaction on the bench. It is 3-2 Tampa Bay. Belmar, a short-hander.
And look how he starts this. This is just textbook stuff. Look at him stop, push the play outside, continues to skate backwards. He's in his lane. He turns the puck over at the blue line. Then Matthew Joseph has some room and some time. And the Lightning find Bellemare all alone in front.
Sweet
and
move.
What a beautiful move that is, forehand to backhand. Beautiful stuff there from the 1-2 combination of Joseph and Bellemare, who've been killing penalties together since the start of the year.
Their penalty kill has been phenomenal.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You saw, too, he mentioned John Cooper was just laughing on the bench
Yeah.
after the goal. And that's after, remember, he chewed out the refs
Yeah.
for the call there, and they got it back. So, puck
And
don't
when you
lie.
get a bad call like that and you get the shorty,
Yeah.
it's just with that one shot where they panned over to him and he's just got his palm over his eyes. Like, I cannot watch this. You guys are so bad. And how about Stammer getting in the All-Star game? How cool is that?
I can't believe he won the
I cannot either.
I mean, I don't know. We thought Tavares was definitely going to win that vote because of it's Toronto.
But where's Stammer from?
He's from Toronto.
That's right.
And the Lightning fans,
That's
I think,
right.
were really motivated to
They
get
were.
him in there.
I think he probably got a little bit of the Toronto vote as well.
I think he did too.
I mean, for all the we smack them down up there in Toronto. They're good hockey fans. They're smart hockey fans. They can see that Stamkos is having a better year than Tavares is having. They understand where he's at. So I don't know the numbers, but I just get a sense that the Toronto people had a hand in that, and I'm gonna give him a little tip of the cap.
And I think Hedman too. If you would have asked him, he'd probably give up his All-Star nod.
Oh
for
hell
Stamkos.
yeah, he would.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. As this, and we talked a little bit about this last night on the We the Thunder podcast. And thanks again, guys, for having me on. I would have loved to see an Olympic tournament. I really would. But man, this Olympic break is really, I've been talking about this for about a month and a half now when they finally decided they aren't going. This is really going to help the Lightning. I mean, look at all the injuries that we have right now. Somebody like Toronto has to reschedule 4 games within that two-week period, at least. A lot of these Canadian teams are going to have to reschedule a lot of games. They're going to be playing. Lightning are going to be sitting on their ass. Well, not sitting on their ass, but they're going to be getting healthy. They're going to be practicing, which is going to make them a better hockey team. Work on the things and they are going to be so freaking ready to roll into the playoffs. I mean, if you don't think this, can you imagine 3 in a row?
It's a real possibility
in a salary cap era?
Yeah.
Come on. That's insane.
And, we've seen Pittsburgh went back-to-back there at 16 and 17, right? We've seen a few other teams go back-to-back, but we've never, every time that third year comes, there's a noticeable dip.
Yep.
And here we are. We're almost getting to February now, which is hard to believe. And the Lightning are sitting atop the NHL right now with 59 points. And they're getting their West Coast trip out of the way here, by the way, in January. So they're going to stay for the most part in the Central East Coast for the rest. So
that's right.
Limited travel. The Lightning have also played the most games of any team in the NHL right now.
Right. I
think they only have 1 or 2 reschedules.
Yep.
That's it.
Like 2.
So to your point, during that Olympic,
1 in Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey and was it Colorado?
Yeah.
Colorado. So
Yeah.
while these teams, like you said, to your point, are going to be playing these games, they only got 2 to make up, and then they're sitting around.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. That's really good for this team. It's all lining up. If they can stay healthy, they're going to be great. All right, let's listen to we got Hedman or Cooper. Let's go Hedman. He had a good press conference last night. That playing all 4 defensemen.
Hi, Victor. I just did a quick scan of your career game by games, and I think only once in the regular season you've played more than you did tonight, and that was in a game that went into overtime. So I guess we can say that you've never played more in a game in your career, but have you ever played better in your career?
I don't know, probably hopefully I have. But, for us, we wanted to go out there today. It's a different situation, but, you got to look. You can look at it 2 ways. You can look at it to feel sorry for yourself. You can look at it as an opportunity, and that's how we approach it today. And got a lot of good help from our forwards, and we just try to keep it as simple as possible, and obviously a big 2 points for us.
Eric, go ahead.
Hi, Victor. Ryan described you as excited when you found out you were only going to play with 4 defense. I mean, what is the challenge in that, though? It's not something that you have to do. Sometimes it happens during a game, not for a full game and from the start. So what's the challenge in being prepared for that, and what was it like?
I'm not gonna lie, I had trouble napping today because I was pretty excited. You don't want to have guys being hurt and not being able to play, but we've never seen it before, never been a part of it, so it was something new. So you got pretty excited about it, and you knew you were gonna be out there, every other shift, and it was a challenge in itself. And 82 game season, you need those challenges. So it was something different and something exciting. So, we want to do this on a regular basis, but for one game, it was kind of fun to measure yourself and see what you can do with only 4 guys. So, obviously very happy with the outcome, and looking forward to getting some guys back next game.
32-37 on ice.
I mean, I can't even imagine that. I really can't.
32-37. Let's hear from Coop. And McDonough played 29-18, Sergey 27-38. But man, that turnover with Sergachev, I was telling you, I'm watching the game and we're on the power play and I see Sergey go behind and get the net, and I see a guy out in front of the net. I'm like, oh my God, he's getting ready to do something really stupid. Oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? He just leaves the puck there. He fumbles the puck right in front of the net. Forget who it was. He grabs it and just sticks it. And I mean, Vasi's like, adjusting his mask, waiting for everybody to go up the ice. Like, what the F was that? You just gave him the puck right in front of the net.
Yeah. He's still doing things like that, isn't he?
Man.
Year 5, I think. Still doing those things.
I mean, there's just no reason to do that. It's just like he can't help himself. He's like, everybody gets mad when I do this. Watch me do it again. We'll skate right by him. Oh, whoops. I love you, sir. I love you, buddy. We all love you. Will you stop doing that? For God's sakes, please stop it. All right, let's hear from Coop.
I'm just sitting here preparing my Norris Trophy ballot, and it has Cale Makar, Roman Josi, and Victor Hedman on it.
Send it in.
I'm just wondering
Send it in.
What kind of statement Victor Hedman made tonight with his performance.
Yeah, well, he when you're filling out those ballots, he should be on it every year. So I guess it was well known that we were only playing with 4 defensemen tonight. But I think, tonight was game 41. It was a half point of our season. And yeah, when you play 82 games, things can get stale at times. And, we're coming out of the West Coast, but it's situations like this. Sometimes it can snap guys into place, and it's something new. It's clearly not ideal, but I'm sure Penny spoke to you guys for the game. He was really excited for this challenge. And there's guys that rise to the challenge and there's guys that don't. And I've been here a long time now with him, and whether it was a game like tonight or whether it was the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs, whatever you want to say, like, he just finds a way to rise to the occasion. Even 2015 when we were in the finals, I just watched that kid elevate his game, and it was impressive. It was impressive by them all. And I know Eddie was the minute leader, but excuse me, I don't know. Cal Foote hasn't played that many minutes in the NHL before, and the performance of Sergey and Mac, that was pretty impressive.
I tell you what, man, that was I told you yesterday. I expected them to put on a show last night. They're going to Los Angeles. They've rested for a few days. I don't think LeBron or all the celebrities were there last night, but they should have been.
No, they were not.
They should have been, because that was a hell of a game. And the Kings played hard. I mean, they played dirty, but they played hard. You knew that they were going to come out after they got smoked the other night. But man, that was an awesome game to watch last night. Really, really fun game to watch. The other thing I watched last night, FSU upsets number 6 Duke at home. Raekwon Evans with a pair of free throws with 12 seconds left. They get a big block at the other end, and they beat Duke 79-78. They just, despite going missing 7 of their final 8 shots to blow a 9-point lead late, which is something they love to do. They just, I love Leonard Hamilton to death, but man, they cannot score in the crunch. And this year it's been, they don't have any go-to scorers, but I tell you what, they play their ass off. They play hard, and that was a huge win for them. Stormed the court.
Stormed the court at the Tuck, man.
Stormed the Pots. Then they stormed all the way to the Pots.
Yeah.
Partied all night, and the big win. Huge win.
Oh, it's a huge win. It's a program, defining win, obviously for this team, especially because they have a dominant scorer like they had in recent years. They're kind of piecing it together. Malik Osborne, Raekwon Everett, Mills, whoever you want in there, and to get a win over Duke like that, and now you got wins over Duke and Miami back to back.
Both on 2 free throws from Raekwon Evans, who didn't hit
the one I think
the rim on any of them. Yeah, he got the
one to send it to OT, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those plays where they were, they wait till the 7-second mark to attack the basket. And he goes in against 3 trees, puts it off 2 feet off the box, and lays it in. It's one of those shots. I'm like, what? That ain't going in. Oh, good shot, bro.
I was like, that's the play we're going with here.
That was awful when it went in. And they get it to overtime. And your boy Ponchero last night, what the hell's with him? He didn't shoot for like the 12 minutes of the second half.
Yeah. I don't know. But I mean, the last 10 minutes of the second half and for most overtime, he had the ball in his hand more than not. He was pretty damn good.
And it was hard. He was hard to stop.
And they had
he
no
was either
answer.
making a play or put it in the basket.
No answer for Williams down low at all. I mean,
No.
they did that. The jump there to him, the jump pass to him. I mean,
Yeah,
2 times,
the alley-oop was-
2 possessions in a row, and I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, who was I don't know, forget who was playing center.
It was Osborne. It was on
he
him.
had no shot. He's like 6 inches shorter than that
6'9"
guy.
versus 7'1".
Yeah, it ain't happening. That dude's 7'1" with a 8-foot reach.
Yeah.
Whatever, you lose, Duke. And so FSU is now 11-5, unranked, 5-2 in the ACC. Not that they deserve to be ranked, but come bubble time, that's going to be a huge win. Because I don't expect them to. They may be 2 or 3 over 500 in the ACC this year, where they'll be on the bubble, and that having beaten number 6, who will probably be ranked higher by bubble time.
Well, the ACC is so weak this year too.
Yeah,
they now just put themselves in conversation for top 3 team in the conference.
Yeah. I mean, that's for having a bunch of guys that don't know how to score. They just need a guy that can shoot.
Yeah, they're just missing one right now.
Yeah. But fun night though. That's one of those nights that the students will just never forget. And the Tuck has become a tough place to play.
Yeah,
all right, we got a break. All right, we got Bruce Gradkowski coming up right now. 3-minute break. We'll have Bruce coming up, and we'll talk some Buccaneer football. Brady versus Matthew Stafford. Breaking it down next.
Who wants free mobile service? I do, and you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
JP here for my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defects, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure you will receive the most aggressive and compassionate representations. He has recovered millions in settlements on behalf of his clients facing defective stucco damage and other construction issues. So call Chris, mention the JP Show, and he will give you a free consultation. That's 813-221-5636, or go to PalermoPA.com. He's a fifth-generation Tampanian graduate of Jesuit High School and the and let them compete for your business. Quick story, one listener had a done deal with a big national mortgage company, was promising a 2.75 interest rate. Well, it came down to lock in, it was 3.25. Emailed Scott, got him the actual 2.75, saved him over $3,000 in first-year payments and $2,200 in lender's fees. Email him, scott@amstampa.com, scott@amstampa.com.
Coming back at you. Now, more with JP on FanStream Sports. It's only just begun.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo, fighting for your rights and protecting your home and sinkhole, hurricane, roof damage, defective stucco, construction defects, and for your Rays full season. He's our man. He will fight the builders and the big insurance companies and Stu Sternberg all at the same time. You can call Chris at 813-221-5636 or reach him at palermopa.com for a free consultation. All right, let's welcome in our good friend Bruce Gradkowski, former Buccaneer quarterback, PFF analyst. What's up, my friend? How are you?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I think you called it last week. You were very dubious of Jalen Hurts' ability to do anything against this Buccaneers defense. I hadn't watched them a lot. Obviously, you graded every one of his throws. I didn't realize he was that bad of a quarterback. Is he really that bad, or did the Bucs just get into his head?
Go
ahead. Say it. If you got to say it, say it.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, Jalen Hurts is good if he's doing the right things and things are around him are right. If they're able to run the football, if he takes care of the ball, he could be a good player. Is he the future of their franchise? No, I don't think so. So, I mean, it's just tough when you're facing a good defense. And that's what the playoffs are about. I mean, the quarterbacks, we see it through the league. I mean, when you got a stud guy behind center, it makes all the difference. Now, I don't want to take away from what Hurts has done this year. You know, he has our 18th best passing grade. So he's kind of like in the middle of the pack in a sense. I mean, you know, he has 23 big time throws to 18 turnover worthy plays. You know, I mean, so there's a lot of good things Hurts has done this year. Especially, I'm a big component. I'm a big guy, a big fan of what quarterbacks bring in the locker room, because I feel like at the end of the day, that's what takes your team further. I don't think the Eagles had the hardest schedule this year. So I think a lot of things played in their favor that way. But with everything that happened last year, with them losing Doug Peterson, trading Carson Wentz, I mean, there's you know, a totally different team out there this year. I thought for them to make the playoffs was pretty impressive.
Yeah. It just seemed like he had open guys. He just doesn't seem like he reads the field well. Not very accurate at all. Doesn't have a good feel for the pocket. He had opportunities to make plays and just wouldn't pull the trigger. I mean, guys were coming open. It's almost like he's playing with that college mentality that you got to wait to see him open. And as you know, in this league, you know, that's too late. He's just too late to the party.
Yeah. Well, and Hurts is that kind of guy. I mean, he's not going to anticipate. He's got to see it come open. And look, I mean, not to say that doesn't work at times, but you have to have Josh Allen type arm strength and so forth to make that kind of stuff happen.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the guy on the other side in this game. He was pretty good. I just loved from the very beginning the way they came out in the no huddle, the up tempo. I thought that was a brilliant strategy. But as you know, and you can expound on this, it's great strategy for any team. Now executing it at that level in that big of a moment is not easy. I mean, you do a couple 3-and-outs and your defense is gassed. So talk about the strategy and how they executed it to perfection to get that 14-0 lead.
Well, and I think that was huge because we talked about on the show last week. I mean, one of the problems with Tampa Bay lately was their slow start. So for them having a fast start, especially against a team they should have no problem with, I thought that was huge.
Yeah.
And so for them to start fast that way, I thought it was, you know, very smart by the coaching staff to up-tempo it, be aggressive, move the ball. You know, it was cool seeing Giovanni Bernard back in the mix and what he brought. So I thought that was a really good game for Tampa to get the confidence back, to feel good. A very impressive win. Look, we really didn't think the Eagles were going to beat them, but were they going to make it close and competitive?
Yeah.
I think this win was kind of was important for Tampa going forward, because this week isn't going to be easy by any means.
No, and I tell you what, and if you would just talk a little bit about, how Brady in the wind, the short passing, and Mike Evans. Boy, I tell you what, his route running since Breeze has gotten here, since Brady has gotten here, he's taken him to such another level. I mean, Mike for a long time, he'll move to get open, pushing off, and he'd get called for it. And now his route running on that touchdown, that little head bob and shoulder fake to the inside, and Brady was right on time with the throw. I mean, that's next level stuff. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see their relationship continue to grow. And when you have a guy like Mike Evans that just has a wide range, a wide catch radius, it is awesome to look at a guy like that. And so it's cool to see what they're doing, and it is. I mean, it helps when you have a quarterback that understands the game, understands routes and how to get open, and to help coach you, because as quarterbacks we see things differently at times as well, and it's all about attacking the defender's leverage. Mike Evans on that deep cross, how he stemmed across the field, then pushed up vertical again to get that DB to kind of think he was running past him and then come across the field. And then, I mean, the ball placement. The ball placement was perfect to just allow Mike to just stay in stride and just keep his feet and score. And, a lot of good stuff. I mean, I just thought it was an impressive win. A win Tampa needed that way.
Yeah.
And, I had friends of mine send me a few pictures of their sons wearing the Gradkowski jerseys going into the stadium. So that must have been the reason. It must have been good luck.
Yes. It was the Gradkowski magic. I love it. Absolutely. And that crowd, bro, was up for grabs. I mean, I thought they were maybe the second star of the game, because they got the defense going early. That first read option or zone read they did on 3rd and 3. And when I think it was Whitehead, and Devin White just made a little Jalen Hurts sandwich for a 3-yard loss. That place exploded. It was like the 2000 back in the day when Rondé and Derek and Sappett were all running around doing their thing. It was, I'm telling you, man, that crowd was crazy. And I don't know if you've got that sense on TV.
That's what I was going to ask you, though, the atmosphere. I mean, just talk about the atmosphere in Tampa since Brady's been there, or what? Like, and compare this to that Super Bowl run. I mean, even last year, but I'm talking when Derek Brooks, Gruden, and them, they had that Super Bowl run. I mean, is this the most alive you've seen?
Oh,
Tampa?
no question. And I'll say this, because a lot of people, like for the Dallas game when there was the first full house for Brady, like, wow, the stadium's loud. And I was like, it was loud, but it ain't like the old days. And, a couple games they picked it up here and there. The playoffs, Sunday was a whole different level. That was back to the old one.
Yeah.
And this week, you're going to have a lot less visiting fans, because Rams fans don't travel. There's probably about 10,000 Eagle fans at the game. So you're probably going to get maybe 5,000 to 7,000 Rams fans, and they're not going to be like those Eagles fans. This is going to be all Buccaneers, and it's going to be up for grabs. And I think it's going to be a huge part of it as well. We can transition into this matchup with Matthew Stafford. And I think this defense is coming alive, just like we saw him last year. The secondary's healthy now. Everybody's healthy on defense for the most part. They got their guys back. And with this crowd, I think they can get in Matthew Stafford's head a little bit. And remember, the first game, SMB and Dean did not play. And he carved up the Bucs pretty good. Let's just be honest. With 371, I think 4 touchdowns, no interception. Cooper Kupp did whatever the hell Cooper Kupp wanted to do. I think it might be a little bit different this game. What do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, I expect a great game. I mean, because you think about the Rams defense, what they're able to do. If you can get after Tom Brady, that does make him a little kind of skittish in the pocket and so forth. So, but look, that was a long time ago. I mean, you figure week 3, that was like another season.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how it feels. But I do feel like, look, both defenses are playing well. Like Tampa's defense, the looks they gave Jalen Hurts, to get after him, to put pressure on him. If you could do that to Stafford and have him feel uncomfortable, it could be a long day.
He'll throw you
it's
some.
going to be like you talked about, the atmosphere there, what they bring. But then on the other side, I think what I'm more concerned, because I think the Rams, and they've shown it, even when Stafford's not playing the greatest, they find ways to win.
Yeah.
I think to get through these playoffs, Stafford has to play like he did the other night. And look, and it was a mix. They didn't ask Stafford to do a whole ton.
They did
I
not.
thought that was a good plan. And on the other side, though, if you're the Rams and you're Donald, if Aaron Donald takes over a game like he's capable of, that could be a long game for Brady.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest concern, because, you know, if Brady's feeling the pressure around him, just like any quarterback, it's not easy. And I think, you know, that's got to be the Rams' plan, man. You got to find ways to make Brady uncomfortable. And they've had success.
They have.
Against
They had
Tampa.
16 pressures
So
in the first game.
concerned.
Yeah, they had 16 pressures in the first game. Excuse me. With the most on Brady this year. They sacked him 4 times. And the Bucs are probably going to be without Tristan Wirfs at right tackle. Don't know that, but that's my guess. And Jensen's, you know, he came back in and played, but he'll probably, you know, he's not going to be full speed against Aaron Donald. I think this might be a low-scoring game. It's 48.5 over-under on it. I think it might be a low-scoring game, and it's going to be about the defenses and who makes the most mistakes. And let me ask you this. When you watch Stafford, and he went through that period where he was throwing a lot of picks, what do you see on tape that Todd Bowles is going to see on tape? Where does he make his most mistakes? When he's pressured? Like if you were Bowles looking at Stafford, what would you say his weaknesses are to make him make those mistakes?
Well, I mean, I just think too, it's a mix of, you know, pressure around him, and I don't mean blitz, like you have to blitz them, but you got to change looks up, and you have to have him hesitant. You know, Stafford sometimes he's going to want to throw those shots downfield. Make him be patient in the game and take things underneath. Take away those deep, explosive plays. But Stafford will throw you a few. I mean, that's the thing. If you get him kind of off his spot a little bit, if he's feeling the heat and pressure, that's where you could get to him. And, you know, we saw it at times this year. I mean, the end of the season, I think he had like 9 turnover-worthy plays in the last 3 games or so.
Wow.
For us at PFF. So, you know, and he played well in the playoff game, but like I said,
didn't ask him to do much.
They didn't demand him. Yeah, he didn't have to do too much. But when he did, he made some unbelievable throws. And that's the Stafford I want to see, because I want to see a good game. I want to see Brady playing well. I want to see Stafford playing well. And if we have that, we're going to be up for one heck of a matchup.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one hell of a game, no doubt about it. All right, if we may, a couple other quick ones. It kind of wrap up the Dak Prescott Cowboys debacle at the end there. And, you know, a lot of people are talking about that play. You've practiced that play. You know what to do as a quarterback. Was that on the coach? Was it on the quarterback? And let's just be honest, the Cowboys lost that game in the other 59 minutes. They were, you know, offensively, they were not good. Their offensive line just got destroyed. But you know, that's the play people are going to remember. What did you see?
Well, I think that's the exact point, man. I think just so much light is shown on that last play, trying to clock it. But gosh, man, you still need a legit throw to the end zone
exactly
to score. It's not like you're on like the 5-yard line. That you're still having on verticals. You're still having to push the ball downfield. Yes, it's not a Hail Mary, but by no means is it, you know, a 75% chance you're going to score right there. Like, so to me, I was kind of, you know, aggravated in that sense of like, don't make excuses, man. They had plenty of opportunities within the game to make it a game. Now, when you're talking about that last play, you're not really taking into account a quarterback scramble and run up the middle and then have to clock it. Usually it's a throw, catch, get down, clock it. But by all means, they could have gotten it done, you know, if the ref didn't run into Dak.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, if you're rushing at that point in the game, it's a defender. Like, the defender got up off of Dak pretty fast. Like, I'm trying to think how that ended, but I just remember thinking to myself, there could have been, the defender could have played it just a tad slower.
Yeah.
That would have made the Cowboys that much more, behind the clock. And it wouldn't have been blamed on the ref. It would have been just, the Cowboys behind. So I don't know. I think there was too much brought into the
they lost that game in the game. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and I called that one. I knew the Niners would go in there. I knew Kyle Shanahan. He does a great job game planning. I'm intrigued with this matchup, Green Bay and San Fran.
Wow.
I mean, you talk about Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan. They know each other. They know what they like.
Yep.
I mean, so this matchup is going to be a good one. And, man, it's just hard for me, because of Kyle Shanahan, the nice job he does. I kind of think there could be an upset in Green Bay this weekend.
Yeah, that's a Saturday night game, 8:15 on Fox. Green Bay's favored by 6. Fred Warner's going to play, but Bosa, that's a big deal right there. Bosa plays, it's a totally different game. Agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that San Fran defense, man, they do a good job, and if Bosa's in there, it's an absolute different game. I mean, it's just like when you have those key edge rushers like TJ Watt and those guys that can dramatically change games, that's Bosa.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, Jimmy G, my goodness, he tried to give that game away. Do you have any faith in him to make the plays?
Well, that's the whole thing, man. That Dallas game, it was like, what quarterback wants to play worse?
Right.
Which one? I thought Jimmy G played a pretty clean game, and then it did feel like he was trying to give it away at the end.
Yeah.
And that was a concern. So it wasn't clean. So Jimmy G has to play clean football. And he can. He's capable. He's done it. I want to see him playing better. And that's the only way they go into Green Bay and win. And, so that's what's hard. Like, I could say I could see the 49ers winning, but at the end of the day, is Jimmy G really going to play better than Aaron Rodgers?
No, that's not going to happen. All right, Buffalo and Kansas City's the late game on Sunday. Josh Allen, man, what he did to Bill Belichick and the Patriots, I don't know if we're talking enough about that. That was a destruction. I thought, Belichick's number one ranked defense or top defense, I thought he would come with a plan and they would execute it and they would give him all kinds of trouble. Nope, not even close. The Bills defense is playing lights out too. Are they the team to beat now in the AFC? And they got Key right in front of them this week.
Man,
great game.
I kind of think so. I mean, look, I called that one back early in the season when Buffalo was going to Kansas City, and I just had a feeling, Buffalo would win. And I have the same feeling this time. I mean, Josh Allen, his performance on Saturday night earned him a 94.8 overall PFF grade against Bill Belichick.
Wow.
And that was the second highest grade by a quarterback in the playoffs since PFF started in 2006. But here's the caveat to it. The highest graded quarterback ever in a playoff game, Patrick Mahomes, the 2019 divisional round against Tennessee at home. So, this matchup, man, I want to see both these QBs on par. Josh Allen just has to protect the football. That's what he did a good job last week. He made his phenomenal plays, but he also protected the ball. This year he's tied third with like Trevor Lawrence with the most turnover-worthy plays for us. So it depends what guy you get.
Yeah.
But I think Buffalo's humming with some confidence, and I could see Buffalo going into Kansas City with the upset.
All right, last game, Joe Burrow against Tannehill. Derrick Henry may be returning. Cincinnati at Tennessee, Saturday at 4:30 to start the playoff weekend. Tennessee a 3.5-point favorite in this one. A lot of people jumping on the Cincinnati bandwagon because of Joe Burrow and all the weapons. They got a lot of shiny toys, but their offensive line is not good. The defense is, okay. And Tennessee wants to just beat you up. What do you think in this game?
Well, I mean, Derrick Henry's going to be the X factor, him coming back in this game, and how much of a factor is he? But, man, there's some about Burrow.
Yep.
And I'm riding the Burrow bandwagon right now. I think Burrow goes into Tennessee and wins. I just think when you put a guy in the playoffs that's like Burrow, that's like Brady, there's just something different about them that they elevate the guys around them. And I think the Cincinnati team's rolling with a lot of confidence right now. There's something about playing and staying rolling where Tennessee had a little break.
Yeah.
And we've seen
True.
different Titan teams this year, and I'm putting my money on the Bengals.
All right, man. It's going to be a great divisional weekend. That place is going to be up for grabs here in Tampa Bay, man. It's going to be a fun day, and we'll see continue the magic with the offensive line. And you get the ball out in 2.1 seconds.
Yeah.
I think I can block for him on the edge. So we'll see. All right, partner.
Well, and that's what he.
We'll see how many
I was gonna say
Gradkowski.
that's what he did.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's what he did a good job the other night, getting the ball out quick, not pushing it far downfield. But now with Giovanni Bernard, they did a good job. So
yeah. All right, we'll see how many Gradkowski jerseys we can get in the stadium this week. I think they're outselling.
Heck yeah, dude, that's a good luck, Sean.
I think they're outselling the AB jerseys. I think they took the 81 off and put the 7 on. I think that's what they're doing just to get some value out of those. So,
and I have 2 Tampa jerseys. Number 5 and number 7. So whatever one, a rookie one, number 5, number 7, and my second year, number 5. So a lot of Gradkowski love and Raymond James.
I love her, brother. Hey, your former teammate Rondé Barber. Hope they get him on the show today or tomorrow. It's the 19th anniversary of his play in Philadelphia. I know he's up for the Hall of Fame. They did the thing yesterday for Ira presented him in front of the committee. I mean, you played with the guy, you know him. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you have him on, tell him I say thank you, because my rookie year we're playing the Eagles at home. I'm playing awful, and he has 2 pick sixes to the house, and we win that game by a 63-yard field goal by Matt Bryant.
Yes, yeah.
So you talk about a QB rookie getting a win when his defensive back, Hall of Famer Rondé Barber, has 2 pick sixes. That's 14 points. And we kick a 63-yarder for a game winner.
But you made a key play to get him in range for that 63-yarder.
Yeah. To get him in range.
I remember I was actually doing sideline for Sunday Night Football for that game. True story. So my job is to get the big interview after the game on the field. Capture the emotion. So I'm communicating with the producer at NBC, and he's like, "All right, Donovan McNabb, got Donovan McNabb." And I'm like, "Okay, I got him." I was over. They got the Eagles. I'm like standing right next to him, getting ready to do the post game interview. And all of a sudden, I think you made a throw. I forget exactly how it ended. Do you remember how you set it up?
Against the Eagles that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I dropped back to pass, and nothing was there. I pulled a Dak Prescott, and I just scramble up the middle.
That's what, yeah.
And I get just tripped up. I probably could have got more yard. I just get tripped up. And I remember I'm on the sideline, and Tim Rattay, another backup quarterback's there. And I look at Tim, I'm like, hey, I'm like, is this even possible? And he's like, no.
No.
And then boom, we kick it and win.
So I'm like sitting there getting ready to interview Donovan. He's looking at me. He's like getting ready to do it. And all of a sudden he makes the field goal. I go, hey, I got to go get Matt. He looks at me like, you asshole.
Man.
You asshole. So I run with the cameraman down to the other side and get him as he's coming off the field. And that was a great moment. That was a huge win. That was freaking unbelievable. I'm glad you brought back that memory. That was fun. All right, partner. Have a great wildcard divisional weekend. You were red hot with the picks last week. I'm on everything you've picked this week as well. So we'll talk to you next week. Appreciate it, partner.
All right, my man. Have a good one.
Great, Bruce Gradkowski there. Oh, I did a whole half hour with us there. He's the best. Yeah, I remember that game. That was insane. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Chris Torello, Spectrum Sports 360, will join us. Stay with us.
The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course in Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth wow the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com.
Are you selling your home or refinancing? JP here for Greenleaf Title. You choose the title company, not the realtor, and it makes a difference. You want a reputable company that makes sure title is safe and secure. There are a lot of scammers out there right now. So go with a trusted company like Greenleaf Title. Plus, they will close anywhere, folks, and they will send a limo to pick you up to come to the closing. Yep, the great JP Limo Closing is back. All you got to do is give them a call at 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. We'll set up the limo for you. They'll come pick you up. Heck, we even picked up one couple, took them to Black Rock Restaurant, one of our favorite advertisers, and then to the closing. That's how they do it at Greenleaf Title. Great service. Will close anywhere. The lowest fees in the business. 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. That's greenleaftitle.com. Who wants free mobile service? I do, and you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
Attention home buyers or refinance candidates. It is a great time to purchase or refinance. Home values are going through the roof right now. You've got so much equity, time to tap into that equity, get the cash, and make sure you're making the right financial decisions in your life. Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services in Tampa can help you out on all those fronts. I've known Fitz for over 30 years. He's done 3 of my mortgages. In fact, Scott has done over 3,000 loans in the Tampa Bay area for many of our coaches, athletes, from Bucks to Bulls. And he can save you big money. AMS is a wholesale broker. They will shop your loan to dozens of banks and let them compete for your business. Quick story, one listener had a done deal with a big national mortgage company who was promising a 2.75 interest rate. Well, when it came time to lock in, it was 3.25. Emailed Scott, got him the actual 2.75, saved him over $3,000 in first-year payments and $2,200 in lender's fees. Email him, Scott at amstampa.com, Scott at amstampa.com. JP here for my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defects, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the power.
Before it's all used up.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's rock. This is FanStream Sports with JP.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. The second hour of the JP Peterson Show is brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center, Dr. Christopher Lugo. A totally different approach, a personalized approach to not only testosterone therapy, but your total overall health. You can find out more at BAMMC.com. All right, joining us now is the great Chris Torello, Spectrum Sports 360. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, doing better than those Bucks and Eagles fans up in the 400s there. So, I mean, yeah, I'm still standing.
Hey, that's that number 54 guy was definitely activated for the game. He beat the living hell out of that Eagles fan. Did you see that video?
Yeah, and then everyone says it was the Bucks who threw their guy down. Like, I saw an Eagles fan wearing, I think it was a Dawkins jersey.
Yes.
He threw the other guy down, so it was a little more aggressive. But, oh well, I'm sure there was a few alcohol involved. So.
Hey, I was told by a very good source that the jail didn't even fill up for the first time for a Philly game. The jail under Raymond James was almost empty. So,
and they say we're not making progress. So there you go.
And hey, Philly would have been the game. You know, they would have been popping off and all full of it, but they had nothing to shout about because the Bucks just beat them down very, very early on. I was surprised. I thought Philadelphia would be able to run the football on the Buccaneers, but that defense just came out. Bowles had a great plan. It was like, Jalen Hurts, you're going to beat us throwing the ball because we are not going to let you run it, and come out in a no huddle, up tempo. That was a brilliant game plan, brilliant execution by Buccaneers. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they did exactly what they I said. I think my prediction was 31-14. So I mean, I was kind of right there. But I think with this, you know, I don't want to upset anybody, but I mean, the game was the game. I mean, I wasn't impressed because they're supposed to beat the Eagles and they were supposed to beat them handily. That's the way it's supposed to go. The Eagles were one of the last teams in, and you're the top seed playing on Wild Card Weekend because the Packers have it off. So I wasn't shocked by the performance. I wasn't overly enthused by the performance. I thought it was a performance. I think it proves that good defense will carry you. Levante David was missing piece, and you know, he anchors that defense. And I think as long as you have him back, and as long as guys like Shaq and JPP are able to disrupt, and then guys like Anthony Nelson who have played better, Edwards has played really well. So I think, you know, they have enough pieces. Now we get into the nitty gritty though. Yep. Now is when you're going to start to, you know, because now, from no disrespect to Bucs fans, but from here on out, it's a complete crapshoot. It's a complete crapshoot. Every week they survive now is a blessing, in my opinion.
Oh, no question about it. And, you know, the kryptonite, as we all know, for Tom Brady is pressure. And the Rams did it better than anybody this year against them. 16 pressures, 4 sacks in the first meeting. And that's with the A line. And we're going to have the B- line this week with Jensen hobbled. I think he'll play. Tristan Wirfs is a long shot at best. And probably Kappa moves out to tackle because Josh Wells is hurt too. And he's not very good. And you put Stinney in at right guard. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a little different against a really good front. That's my biggest concern this week. What about you?
No, absolutely. I think, you know, offensive line, you win in the benches. If you can't control the line of scrimmage, if you can't keep your quarterback, pressure free, then yeah, you're going to be in trouble. And we've seen it. Look, we've seen it when Brady has, you know, whenever he's not looked good, it's because that other team's probably got a few future Hall of Famers who are determined to get to him. We saw it with both Giants Super Bowls. I think the Eagles even got to him in their Super Bowl. Now you're looking at guys like Donald, and you've got, you know, Von Miller. I mean, you've got everybody there. And then if he gets the ball off, they've got a really good secondary. So, listen, the Rams are built to win, and they went for it. I give them all the credit in the world. They bring back Waddle out of retirement. They're going for it. So I think, you know, the Rams don't really – I know everyone makes this big deal about, West Coast, East Coast. I don't think gives a damn. I don't think this team gives a damn. I think they're ready to come in here, and I think they're like, well, we've won here before. We've won in L.A. We don't care where we got to play the Bucs. I don't think they're intimidated like other teams.
No, I don't think they are at all. I think this is going to be a great matchup. But I thought the crowd was a huge part of it on Sunday. They got the defense going. The defensive intensity was as good as I've seen it all year. And I wouldn't be, I would say the Bucs played a really good game. They played a clean game. They didn't have any turnovers. They executed their everything to perfection. Hey, I know Philly's not the best team in the world, but they're a playoff team, and the Bucs they whooped their ass, and they did it with an execution on level that I haven't seen all year long. It was a great strategy with the no huddle.
coming out up tempo. I'm going to give the Bucs a lot more credit than you just did. I think you're a little tough on the Bucs, Torello. I think they were. That was a better
I'm a
performance.
realist. I'm a realist, JP. The two seed with the greatest quarterback ever, who's a 2 seed and not a 1 seed, just beat the 7 seed with a quarterback who was out for who missed games and still hadn't found his footing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Jalen Hurts was lighting the world on fire. I was telling all of our 360 guys all week long, all of our viewers, he hadn't lit the world on fire. So I think for people to look at the Eagles, yes, they made the playoffs, God bless. But let's not pretend that the 7th seed has been around for 50 years. Let's not pretend that this is some type of honor. It's basically the team that did the least crappy over the final 5-6 weeks gets a shot. And they got exactly what was handed to them. They got a beat down, and that's exactly what should happen when you're the 2 seed. So I'm not giving the Bucs credit. They went out, they played well. I love the way they used Tyler Johnson. I think I think Vaughn has come a long way.
Yes.
Again, talking about these guys getting their opportunities. But now you play the big boys, and now you're going to see if that difference of being a 2 or a 3 seed is really the key. If the fans are the key, great. But the Bucs got to come out and play really good football because the Rams, 38 rush attempts. Matthew Stafford, 17 pass attempts. Third time in his career he has failed to get to 20, JP. That's not going to happen this week.
Well, it also tells me that the coach doesn't trust that quarterback who had 9, just had Gradkowski on, who grades all the throws, 9 turnover-worthy plays in the last 3 weeks, or that 3-week stretch for Matthew Stafford. That ain't getting it done in the playoffs, brother. And the Bucs are bringing pressure big time. And Andrew Whitworth, their left tackle's beat up a little bit too. So I think this is a defensive game. I think this is a 24-17, 21-17 game. I don't think this is going to be a shootout. I know there's a lot of offensive talent out there, but I think these two defenses are going to win the day. What do you think?
I think I like where you're going with this. I think everyone always overshoots on the score, a lot of 33-28 type of game. And maybe we do. Maybe it's defensive, but then there's a little bit of an outburst, and that usually can happen between two teams like this where the defenses get a little tired in the third quarter. But yeah, I think if you're sitting there at the end of the third and it's like, 17-14 or 21-17, then you got yourself a hell of a playoff game. And I think that's what it is. Look, fans want to go and they just want to see their team rip up the other team. But, I think if we're all deep down inside being honest, we want to see good football. And I think these are two good teams. Look, I don't think the team is afraid to go Lambeau Field next week if they have to. And so I just think, whoever comes out of this, I like them to represent the NFC.
All right, so that's Bucks. My UCF friend here, Nick Geddes, I think you have a little something for him for that U.S. beatdown that happened in basketball last Saturday. You give him a little something, will you? Come on.
Well, I think it was, both teams played hard. And, I think, look, no, because here's the thing. One thing that you notice on Twitter is that one of the fan bases wins with grace. The other can't do anything with grace. So, no, am I wrong?
No, you're spot on, bro. Bring it. This is why. So I brought it up. I want you to come on, crush him.
Look. I have no problem with the way USF played that night. I think it's more of a fluke, and I like the way Johnny Dawkins spoke after the game about how we got to learn from this. We always have to respect our opponent. I love what Johnny Dawkins said. Johnny Dawkins is a true coach. But people forget the next night, USF lost to UCF in Orlando, and the women are the pride of the whole Yuengling Center. They're the reason that the lights are on. So to lose to UCF, it didn't. And then UCF men just came back and beat ECU last night. They were down 20. They went in OT, and USF puts up an egg against Houston. So, I mean, again, I think it was a fluke. But USF needed to win that game because they needed something to be going their way on the men's basketball side.
Yes.
So, look, I'm not going to sit here and go after anybody because, at the end of the day, it's a basketball game. But, I think when USF beats them on the football field, then I think, you'll see the USF fans come out in full force.
In what year? In what year are you referring to?
Next year.
What?
We got you at our house.
You got nothing.
I think here's the thing. I think I'm on record with you. UCF will win the American next year.
Yes.
But I do think coming to Ray J with new coordinators, with and by the way, UCF has done a really good job in the transfer portal. You talk about quality over quantity. They've done a really nice job. But USF has rebuilt their defense. I'm excited to see that. I want to see Shane McClain take the steps if he is the guy. Because Travis Marsh is back, third year for him. We'll see. And don't rule out someone else coming in, even though I've been told that they don't want to do that. So we'll see what things look like when we get to November. But I expect Jeff Scott's crew to be in a position to be fighting for a bowl game.
That's right.
So, I mean, you guys know what it's like to be Gasparilla Bowl champions.
Yes.
It's otherworldly.
It's huge.
You know, I don't even think there's a greater honor in Orlando.
But
I mean,
beating Florida, let's just be honest, though. Beating Florida in a bowl game is
but
like,
can we please talk
being
about
the tallest
state?
midget. Let's go.
Hey, you knew it was coming. You knew the state champion shirts were coming after that one. Like they had them. I don't know.
Did they really?
They're petitioning the FH. I bet you they're petitioning the FHSAA for record books. We want it. We're the state champs. Put us in the record books.
Torello, you're the best.
State champs, national champs 4 years
yeah.
ago.
Who
Remember that?
talks about
Fill
it?
that trophy case with your own trophies. Give yourself trophies.
Well,
Fill that
it's great,
trophy
though.
case.
They're great. Listen, UCF is far and away the better athletic program right now, in all respects. They really
it's
are.
Central Florida.
I love
Central Florida.
Hey, back-to-back cheer championships for USF. Don't overlook that. Don't overlook that.
I think UCF does a great job. They're great at what they do. And, you know, look, listen, I'll say this, though. USF better take some steps this summer and this fall. They better.
They crushed it. They
So.
crushed it in the transfer portal. I mean, they get the number one transfer portal class. USF, they did number one in anything. Let's celebrate that. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hey, I saw you had a nice little tweet for my my old boss John Mamola yesterday at 6:20. This is all in good fun, but I just have to laugh that guys over there have to toe the company line, that they have to keep an open mind about the sister city plan. You know, you keep an open mind about it. You never know. Come on, bro. How do you support this bull crap? It's come on.
Well,
you're the hometown
to be fair,
station. Come on. Go ahead.
Well, to be fair, if you actually look, their guys, a lot of their on-air guys were bashing John for that because they're like, I'm all for listening, but I'm not listening to stupid. So I think a lot of their own guys on air do go, like they do, you know, but I understand what John has to do. John, you know, he's the over there. It's kind of tough to have a partnership, but no, I think the biggest thing is that there is, and Ken Hagan said it, and it's the first time I'll give that man any extensive credit, but the big thing with him was he said that they're not thrilled with the split season. They are prepared to bring both. But the thing that got me, and I appreciated him saying, was the business owners who signed that letter, they were not shown facts. They were not shown statistics.
Of course they weren't.
So
because there is
that's
none.
the biggest. But that's the thing. Now I heard some USF fans on Twitter. They were like, "Oh, whatever, let them leave. It'll be better for USF." No, it won't. You need the Rays. The Rays are important. If you want to be considered a major sports market, you need 3 of the 4. And, you know, because otherwise, now, if you want to be like Orlando, where the Magic stink and City gets knocked out early in the playoffs, and you want to just go to Solar Bear games, and then you UCF across the area, if that is your goal, then by all means, let the Rays leave. But if you really want to keep this a major sports market,
right,
then you need the Rays and Ybor, which I believe is happening.
Yes.
You need the Lightning. You need the Bucks. I think people are like, oh, we don't need the Rays because Tom Brady's going to retire.
That's
soon.
right.
Like, it ain't all sunshine and rainbows for much beyond next year.
And listen, by the way, Hagan came on my show a month and a half ago and said the same thing. So if you need to know about that stuff like way earlier than the other station, just keep it over here. We'll get you all the information way earlier.
No, I know. Well, I listen.
But listen, and this,
you know, I listen.
I know you do. I'm just messing with you. And I got to take shots. I love Johnny. He's my old boss. Whatever. I got to take shots when I can take shots. But here's the other thing, man.
Hagan, and I got this on really, really good authority, and Hagan, the other people, the people that are looking at this feasibility study, the split season plan, when they put it out, it's not feasible. And this should be obvious to everyone. The price of the stadium at this boutique stadium, wherever the hell that is going to be almost the same as a full season stadium. And there's like $150 million difference, but you're getting half the revenue. Like, I'm not a brilliant economist in the world, Torello, but I think we can figure out that doesn't work. You don't put in $350 million of public money for half the dates. It just, the numbers don't work. And when the numbers come out, Stu's going to have a choice. You want a half a stadium? You're going to have to pay for 80 to 90% of it. You want a full stadium? We're all in. You pay half. We'll give you infrastructure. We'll give you everything you want. This is a freaking layup. And Major League Baseball is going to look at this and say, well, wait a minute. This has been a stadium issue's been going on forever here. Now they're stepping up with half, just like the Braves and Rangers paid. And Stu, you just got your $500 million that you tucked away in your new company, allegedly. Do you think owners aren't going to say, do the freaking deal? We're not leaving that market. You pony up all that revenue sharing money we've been giving you for 10 years that you've been in your pocket. Pony up. Get the deal done so we can expand in Montreal and Nashville and get our $2 billion in expansion fees. That's the way this is going down. And he's going to have to make a choice. Do I want to leave this, go try and leave this market in 7 years and be a lame duck here for 5? Hell no. He's going to have to stick and stay and either sell it or build the stadium full time. That's the way this is going down. Am I wrong?
No, I think here's the thing that I just from what, reading and hearing things, I think the biggest thing is that there could be a potential for like maybe Nashville or maybe one other city we're not thinking of. And if Stu is playing it that way, then I think maybe bets are off. But I'll tell you what, I know Manfred wasn't letting Oakland leave. Yeah. And I know that, because there's one thing about Manfred is he loves history.
Right.
He loves the history of the game. So while he saw the Raiders leave for LA, he doesn't want that. He doesn't want the Oakland A's, who have had some of the best teams in history, some of the best hitters in history. He doesn't want that. He wants that Oakland A's tradition to continue in Oakland. He's open to a Las Vegas team probably, but he needs to keep the teams where they are. And I think if you are Stu Sternberg, and look, you got to spend money to make money. What they did with Wander Franco, they're going to sell so many more Franco jerseys. They are going to make him the star of this team, and that's wonderful. Now do the next thing. Now get yourself to the finish line up. We have a deal on a big stadium. We're going to talk about a roof or at least a very good a good air conditioning system that's going to keep people cool. If they really want outdoor, get up. But, people go watch college football games at noon at Ray J's. So, and the Bucks at 1 during September. So, if you really want to go watch something, you'll go watch it in person. But they need to do something that's not only going to be beneficial for them, but it has to be beneficial for Ybor. It is a historic district. It is important for baseball in the history of Tampa. That's where we need to honor the history. So I think it'd be very important for the Rays to go there and just stay there. Don't spit in the legacy of Al Lopez.
No.
Don't spit in the legacy of the 89 MLB players we've had. Go in there and actually develop it and actually do the right thing, because the Rays do care about the community. They do. They just don't promote it enough. That's another thing. They have to promote the good. They have to. And they're not doing that.
Chris, I love you to death, and there are a lot of great people within the Rays organization that do great things within the community. But when your owner tries this scheme and tries to abandon your market and talk and constantly blame the fans, say he's not making any money, constantly flipping, doing crap to piss off the fan. We're going to put up a sign during the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. He don't give a rat's ass about the people in Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. He doesn't. There may be people in the organization do. I know there are a lot of them. And guess what? 90% of the people that work in that organization hate the owner, and they hate this plan. Nobody that works there wants this plan, except for Brian Auld and Matt Silverman, who are being paid handsomely to pitch it. And trust me, having known Matt and Brian for a long time and how much they love the Tampa Bay area, I don't think their heart's in it either, to be quite honest. But that's an argument for another day.
You're not bad.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think in terms of, but look, if the goal is to get the discussion to where we have true blueprints, we have the idea in front, then it's a lot more realistic to say, okay, so why now you're sitting there and you say, okay, now show us Montreal's blueprints. Show us Nashville's. Because once that happens, then it's like, oh, maybe you should reconsider full stadium, the full season. And I think as long as he puts up the 350, 400, I think Hillsboro's going to do it. I think they want to do it. And but that's fine. $800 million, you can build a beautiful stadium. It's going to cost $300 million to put a USF one on, from what I'm told, to put their football stadium over there. So, and they, by the way, they're getting close. I've been told they're getting close.
Yeah, and I'm on board with that.
But when it comes with the Rays, they need to just sit there and say, you know what, screw it. We can put a down payment. We can get this rolling. We have the land. We're buying it like the Braves did, and we're just going to go for it. And
listen, it's all there for
at least take pride in it.
Yeah, I said this 3 years ago, man. This is with our group, Save Our Rays full season, and we're going to have this rally in March 5th, I believe it's going to be. I hope you guys will cover it for us and leading up to it.
Oh, we'll be there.
This is our message is this. Sister City is not only splits the season, it splits the fan group. It's divisive. The fans don't overwhelmingly want this in either city. But putting a full season and putting the whole thing together in Ybor, all those things that you said that are positive about this. You got Wander Franco. You got all this great momentum going forward. I mean, Kevin Cash grew up here. You think he wants to play half his freaking games in Montreal? Hell no. The players hate it.
He won't be the manager if that happens.
No, exactly. You're exactly right. Nobody will ever want to come play for the Rays. All this momentum that you have going here locally, you're going to have a whole everybody step up and say, look, we want you here. We're going to pay half. You pay half. We know you got the money now. That's out. That cat's out of the bag. It's only $20-25 million a year for each side. It's not like you got to write a check for $450 million. This is so freaking doable. You have an exploding market. More people moved in here. You got the Ybor City area. You need more residential. You're going to put condos there. You're going to do it just like San Diego and Atlanta. There's so much positive momentum with the full season. Half season, everybody's going to be dragging, kicking and screaming, no, I don't want it. I'm not going. I'm not going. Screw them. I'm a Lightning fan. While they're building the damn thing. It's stupid. It just makes zero sense. It's all about a scheme for him to get television revenue. That's all it is. So
you're right. You're right. And I think the Rays, I think a lot of fans need to, let their voices be heard. Yep. And I think at the end of the day, I just until hell freezes over, I continue to believe there will be a day when Stu Sternberg stands at a microphone with Jane Castor and with Ken Hagan and everybody and says, well, at the end of the day, Tampa Bay wants us and we're staying and we're not thinking about full. And he's just going to say it. And he'll take a victory lap that no one will be with him on. But you know what? Let him take but seriously, let him take it. Yeah. Let him take the lap.
I'm fine.
Let him do it because look, sometimes you gotta let what was the big fat Greek wedding? The women had to make the father think it was his idea.
Exactly.
You gotta let that person think it's his idea.
Yep.
So let him think that he won. Yep. But Tampa will win.
Exactly.
That's what matters most.
Give him an out. Let him save some face. Hopefully he just sells the team before that happens. And I'm not saying this is part of it. I love chatting with you about this stuff. I don't know if you got to go, but if you do, let me know. So I would love to get your thought on this. What is Jeffrey Vinnick doing? He's sold off a piece of the Lightning, sold off a piece of his hedge fund a couple of years. He's got a pile of cash. And he's in this new company they brought in, they have ties to European soccer, but they're a sports management company, an entertainment company, which would dovetail very well if you were going to build some type of, battery entertainment center around Rays Stadium. And then, Vinnick, if he were to go in and do something with the Rays here, and I said this yesterday, I have no inside information on this. Well, I'm just looking at the tea leaves and wondering what he's going to do with all this cash that he's coming up with. And now, if he would own the Amalie Event Center, the Yingling Event Center, the Rays Event Center, and the Rays, the Rowdies, he would own Water Street. He's got it all, and he's got no competition. From a business standpoint, seems like a good play.
So I don't know what he's going to do with that. You have any insight into that at all?
The only thing I can remember is a few years ago, I remember talking to him when Julien Brisebois was named general manager. I was there, that presser, and I remember speaking to him, and I said, Jeff, I said, how bad do you want that cup? And he looked at me, and I saw it, and he goes, Chris, I want it so bad I can taste it. And I think winning back-to-back, finally breaking through, having the fans finally see the results, I think for him, he's been able to step back and go, okay, I've done what I needed to do. I want this team to keep winning. We're invested in the right guys. We're going to keep winning. Now I want to I think, and then I also heard something interesting maybe 2 years ago, and obviously, it's really just hearsay, but you remember a couple of people said to me, look, don't be surprised if Vinnick starts to get out. Don't be surprised if he's like, I'm good. I've done my job. But I don't think he wants to leave. I don't think it's one of those clear get outs. I think for him, it would be more of a, what's the next challenge?
Exactly.
Like you said.
Exactly.
But is it completing the development downtown? Is it the Rays?
Yeah.
Is it, because he's done a lot for USF.
Yep.
Their production quality is wonderful for all the games.
Yeah.
You look at what he could do with the Rays. I'm not saying he goes and buys the Rays. I think so many people want that to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But can he get involved where he says, look, we can do X, Y, and Z. We can make this happen.
Yeah.
We can't lose a team like the Rays.
Right.
And I think that's what fans want more than anything. It's just for someone you don't have to be the owner to take ownership.
Right.
You don't have to be the one who makes every decision to be involved with keeping the team here. You just have to have it with your heart. And I think Jeff Vinnick's put a lot of heart into Emily, into that team.
And to Tampa
and
Bay.
I think he wants, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But I don't know. He's getting, he's starting to get up there a little bit. People want to enjoy the fruits of their labor too. They don't want to keep grinding every day. He's made a lot of money. Let's see what he probably wants to try and relax a little bit.
Yeah, I would, but I knowing him and his love for Tampa Bay, and if he really thinks the team's going to leave, that would be a blow to Water Street. Let's just be honest with that. I mean, the difference, the success of Water Street depends on businesses coming here. That's the whole predication of it, right? And if you lose your Major League Baseball team, I'm not saying people come here for Major League Baseball, but it's a lot easier to lure these companies, which has been his number one really goal of this whole thing. It's to lure these companies when you got a shiny new baseball stadium where the Yankees and Red Sox are all going to come play, all these northern teams where you're trying to get their get these businesses to move down here. I mean, the difference between the Rays not being here and building a stadium there, especially full time with an entertainment district around it, for Jeff Vinnick, that's obviously going to be huge for him for the success of Water Street. It dovetails really, really nicely. But again, I have no information on this at all. I'm just trying to read the tea leaves. And I will say this, though. I don't think there's any that Vinnick gets involved in co-ownership or co-deal with Stu Sternberg whatsoever. If he's getting involved, he's buying that guy out. He's not going to be any part of it. I can tell you that in a heartbeat. That's not going to be a partnership.
You're right. It still bothers me, that the Yankees have all that land right there by Ray J, and I'm just thinking that's where it could go. But I know they want to go to Ybor and they want to, but
it's got to be an urban site. It's got to be an urban site. I've said that. And baseball's an urban
I get
game.
it, but it bothers me that there are all these obstacles, and it bothers me that a team like the Yankees have such great land. They've got great fans down here.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to keep fighting just to get fans.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be that way anymore. Not for the Rays. The Rays need to go all in. And I think, if you're a Rays fan, you got to be all in with this team. A lot of Lightning fans came down here saying they would wear a different sweater. It's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
They're all Lightning fans now. That's another thing too. You got to get everyone on board.
Yeah. And you ain't doing it with the split city plan. You're never getting anybody on board with that ever. All right, partner.
Right.
Tell us what's coming up on Spectrum Sports 360. What you guys got going on?
Yeah, so we've got my buddy Mike Terrence was with Eckerd College girls women's hoops, so that'll run tonight. And then for me, I'm working on a story this week, and it'll run sometime next week. Where this young lady, she played for Southeastern University women's soccer up in Lakeland.
Mm-hmm.
She moved from England when she was 1 year old. She was born over there, came over here. She lived here, went to Lemon Bay High School. she is considered a documented dreamer, meaning she is not a citizen. She has to keep getting visas and green card status. And her time is running out, and she's applying for a visa in which less than 50% of applicants get it. So this is someone who has been here her whole life, basically. And, you wouldn't think of the word dreamer when you see her, and she's got to fight to stay here. So we're going to be telling that story. And I think it's an important one to tell.
It's a great story.
Someone who's a teacher. So, yeah.
You got a productive person like that in society who's doing everything right, making all the right choices, making us a better place to live. And she can't get a visa, but these jackasses, these MS-13 people can walk across the border with duffel bags full of fentanyl, and that's okay. Come on in. We are welcome here. Ugh, Jesus. All right. Well, I can't wait to see that story, because those are the people we need to be giving visas to and getting into this country. 100%. All right, partner. Great stuff. As always, we love you, brother. Spectrum Sports 360, Chris Torello. Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
And he got you, by the way. That comment, like, one fan base is a very gracious, winning fan base, and the other one is just obnoxious. Which one is the obnoxious one?
Listen, I have to put on my UCF cape. I have to put on my cape with Torello's on. But behind the scenes how I feel about the UCF fan base.
You're right. You're right.
You know how I feel.
Well, you can say it on, we talk the truth here. You know that this is not 620. We say what's on our mind. This is unfiltered.
The UCF fan base, and again, I have a diploma there, and I will say this: you're full of shit.
Keep it real.
You're
Keep
full
it
of
real.
shit.
Yeah,
They're full of shit.
Doesn't it feel good?
It does feel
say
good.
It. Say it.
It does feel good.
Say be better.
I do want to go on Twitter sometimes with some of you idiots.
Say be
out
better.
there.
Let's be better.
You do need to be
Let's
better.
act like we've been there before.
Please.
We're not this up and coming slap dick program anymore. Okay, let's act like we've been here.
Yes, please. And
there
let's
we go.
Enough.
Feels
I don't
good,
want to hear.
doesn't it?
I don't want to hear about the Kali Matrix or whatever Matrix gave you a national championship. I wasn't there at that time, so I will speak to it from my outsider's view.
It's a good football team, though. It
was a really good team.
All right, we'll take a break. We're going to double up our break here. I want to just, before we hit the break, want to say a huge thank you to our good friends at the Golden Diamond Source. Right now is a great time to shop at the Golden Diamond Source. If you got that gift card that you want to go use, the prices are great. Always the after holiday sale. The prices are great. Selection is still fantastic because they have the best selection in the local market that you can find. It's the best diamonds because Steve Weintraub, who's been doing this for 40 years, picks the best diamonds, hand picks them. And if you're shopping for diamonds online, by the way, what are you doing? First of all, the money's not staying here. Second of all, you're going to get ripped off. Do not shop for diamonds online. You're going to get ripped off. Go to a place where you can trust them. They've been here for decades and decades. They support the local economy. They're not going anywhere. So, and that's important. When you buy a diamond, you want to be able to come back and bring it back, upgrade it when you get 100% of your value, which you do with the Golden Diamond Source, and you'll be a customer for life. Once you go there and you feel the family atmosphere, you're going to say, oh, I have a family member in the business. It's the Weintraubs. It's good, the Golden Diamond Source. So give them a shot. Just head on over there. Tell them JP sent you. It's about 10, 15 minutes from downtown Tampa over the Howard Franklin. It's easy to get to right there, 3800 Ulmerton Row, always online at the Golden Diamond Source. Back in a second, we have some more lightning to go to. We have some interesting NFL stories. Naked NFL players getting arrested, which is always interesting. So we'll do that when we come back. The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course at Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth wow the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com.
Well, it's never been more important to support each other and support local businesses like Italiano Insurance that has been around for over 60 years, serving our community with great customer service and also giving back to our locals in need. Their Metropolitan Ministries Holiday Food Drive was another tremendous success this year. Why call a 1-800 number when you can call your trusted neighbors at Italiano Insurance who will save you money? In Boca Grande, 941-964-0400. That's 941-964-0400.
Cryptocurrency is all the rage today. The market cap for the industry is now over $1 trillion. And you read about people making millions of dollars, right? You want to get in, but have no idea what to do? Or maybe you dabbled a bit and you want to unlock the real money-making opportunities and don't know how to do it. There are over 10,000 tokens and thousands of decentralized finance exchanges to navigate. So what do? You go to DeFiLava.com. The folks at DeFiLava.com are in Tampa Bay, and they work with you directly to set up custom accounts, answer all your questions, and provide market analysis. Decentralized finance and cryptocurrencies are here to stay and will change the financial markets as we know them. Get in the game. Get with the experts at DeFiLava.com and tell them JP sent you and get their free 2022 crypto market forecast today at DeFiLava.com. Don't get left behind, folks. Make some money at DeFiLava.com.
Attention home buyers or refinance candidates. It is a great time to purchase or refinance. Home values are going through the roof right now. You've got so much equity. Time to tap into that equity, get the cash, and make sure you're making the right financial decisions in your life. Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services in Tampa can help you out on all those fronts. I've known Fitz for over 30 years. He's done 3 of my mortgages. In fact, Scott has done over 3,000 loans in the Tampa Bay area for many of our coaches, athletes, from Bucks to Bulls. And he can save you big money. AMS is a wholesale broker. They will shop your loan to dozens of banks and let them compete for your business. Quick story, one listener had a done deal with a big national mortgage company, was promising a 2.75 interest rate. Well, when it came time to lock in, it was 3.25. Emailed Scott, got him the actual 2.75, saved him over $3,000 in first-year payments and $2,200 in lender's fees. Email him, Scott at amstampa.com, Scott at amstampa.com.
Who wants free mobile service? I do. And you can get 30 gigs a month from companies like AT&T Service, T-Mobile. Great service. Keep your number and get free mobile service. It's part of the emergency broadband benefit from the stimulus bill. 87% of America qualifies. So if you think you make too much money or whatever, just go to jpcares.info and find out. It'll take you a few minutes. jpcares.info to find out if you qualify for free cell service. Get it now before it's all used up.
The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course in Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth. Wow, the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com. JP here for my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defects, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure you will receive the most aggressive and compassionate representations. He has recovered millions in settlements on behalf of his clients facing defective stucco damage and other construction issues. So call Chris, mention the JP Show, and he will give you a free consultation. That's 813-221-5636, or go to PalermoPA.com. He's a fifth-generation Tampanian graduate of Jesuit High School and the University of Florida, and he cares deeply about you and the community. That's 221-5636 or PalermoPA.com.
Are you selling your home or refinancing? JP here for Greenleaf Title. You choose the title company, not the realtor, and it makes a difference. You want a reputable company that will make sure your title is safe and secure. There are a lot of scammers out there right now. So go with a trusted company like Greenleaf Title. Plus, they will close anywhere, folks, and they will send a limo to pick you up to come to the closing. Yep, the great JP Limo Closing is back. All you got to do is give them a call at 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. We'll set up the limo for you. They'll come pick you up. Heck, we even picked up one couple, took them to Black Rock Restaurant, one of our favorite advertisers, and then to the closing. That's how they do it at Greenleaf Title. Great service. Will close anywhere. The lowest fees in the business. 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. That's greenleaftitle.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
Fan Dream Sports.
All right, welcome back. The JP Peterson Show brought to you in the second hour by Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Very different kind of approach to primary care, personalized preventative medicine. Not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. Very proactive in looking at the issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. So if you're one of those guys like me that's gotten older, but you don't want to get any less active, Christopher Lugo is the place and the man to see. I've been on testosterone replacement for about 5 years now, and this is not a frivolous treatment, folks. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, emotional stability, which is something that a lot of people in these clinics don't pay attention to, is your emotional stability. When you start messing with hormones, whether it be female or male, you get into that realm. So you have to have a doctor that is very in tune to how to do this and monitors your blood levels and make sure everything is perfect and gives you a personalized plan. That's what they do at Bay Area Modern Medical Center. They offer customized hormone replacement for men and women. Christopher Lugo, PA, has a deep experience in custom hormone balancing, and they can help restore your energy, sex drive, and feelings of well-being. As we like to say, getting old is inevitable. Feeling and looking old is avoidable. It's Bay Area Modern Medical Center. In this time of COVID, we've learned one thing. If you're in better shape and you're not obese and you're taking care of yourself, you're in a much better situation when the next virus comes around, folks, and there will be another virus. You can trust me on that. So get your health right, and it's Bay Area Modern Medical Center. That's BAMMC.com, BAMMC.com. All right, Greg Allman out of practice today, covering the Bucs for The Athletic, friend of the program. Says that not much to glean from participation today. Levante David and Ryan Jensen working with trainers on the side. No Tristan Wirfs, Leonard Fournette, Cyril Grayson on the field. Well, that's good news. Leonard Fournette obviously could be a big factor in this game coming up, especially, with what he did, what playoff Lenny did last year. I can't say enough about what Sneak Vaughn did last week, but playoff Lenny's a whole nother level, and would love to get him back this week. We'll hear from Bruce Arians, some of the players today on Zoom calls, so I'll be on them and try to get the questions that you want to know. Other NFL news. Did you see the Malik McDaniel story? Let's see if McDowell. Yeah, this happened in Florida. Where was this? Was down in Fort Lauderdale?
I think it was north. Am I not mistaken? I think it was up
in
north.
The Sun Sentinel. Oh no, it was arrested by the Broward Sheriff's Office, BSO.
It was down low.
Yeah, Deerfield Beach. Oh yeah, Deerfield Beach, lovely place. I grew up down there with. I got to say the guys that were in my high school that became Broward Sheriffs. Not the guys you would think that would go into law enforcement. No. They weren't exactly the law-abiding citizen. Yeah, not exactly the law-abiding citizens. Way worse than me.
It all makes sense now.
Then they became whatever. But did you see the video of his arrest?
I did not get a chance to see the whole video. I've read about it though.
Yeah,
I have read about it.
First of all, dude shows up near a school and goes onto the school campus naked.
Naked.
Butt-ass naked. In the whole video of him being detained as a butt-ass naked man is interesting. And then there's the other video where he was actually tased, where he went after the officer. He stopped, they stopped him. It was bizarre. It was bizarre. And I don't know. And he has now this I shouldn't laugh about this, but it's kind of interesting. So his defense attorney says, apparently somebody may have slipped him something or given him something he was unaware of, which explains some of his bizarre behavior. Well, actually, he has quite a history. DUI charge in Michigan, disorderly conduct charge, February of 2019, arrested on a charge of operating a vehicle while intoxicated, resisting arrest and assault. Resulted in a 153-day jail sentence. He was released by Seattle in March of 2019, suspended 2 games. In April of 2019, he was charged with receiving and concealing stolen property and is found with a stolen pickup truck. So I don't know if this is an isolated incident of him being slipped something. He may have ingested it himself, perhaps.
Hold on. Let me backtrack here to what you just read.
Yeah.
You're in the NFL making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And you're stealing pickup trucks?
Yeah. Stolen property.
I hear that?
Yeah. Right after you just got out of jail and were suspended. So why in the Cleveland signed this guy?
It all makes sense now, doesn't it?
It's all coming together.
Yeah, it really is.
That's a great organization, that Browns organization.
First class.
Yeah.
First class.
Yeah. But I'm sure that it was the cops' fault. No question about that. I want to welcome back Stephen A. Smith. Had a long bout with COVID, so I'm glad to see Stephen A. is back and doing well. Said it almost took him out. Had I not been vaccinated, you're vaccinated, and he was, how long was he out? Like a month?
He was out for about a month, I believe.
Wow. And he was vaccinated. Said for me personally, it hit me differently. Told me had I not been vaccinated, I wouldn't be here. Wow. That's how bad I was. I had pneumonia in both lungs. My liver was bad. It was ravaged me. Wow. It was interesting. Joe Rogan, Dana White, Aaron Rodgers, they all got COVID. And they took the ivermectin and antiviral protocols, all these treatments that are available that a lot of people are not interested. They're just interested in vaccines, which clearly aren't working in a lot of different ways. Those guys were like right back. I don't even think they missed work at all. They went right to the ivermectin and all these antivirals. This great protocol that's been available since March 2020. And, Dr. Reish, Dr. Malone, Dr. McCullough, all these great, brilliant doctors that have been on the Rogan show have said there's a cure for COVID. Maybe Stephen maybe he was getting all the misinformation from other places and didn't think those protocols worked. And he was just counting on the vaccine. That was a mistake. He probably shouldn't have been listening to those people. Probably should have been listening to McCullough and Malone and all these doctors that have had these protocols out that really, really work and could have saved hundreds of thousands of lives that our government just pushed to the wayside. In fact, suppressed, like wouldn't let pharmacies actually dispense ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine. Can you imagine that? Our own FDA would not give life-saving, and now the monoclonal antibodies, you can't get those either. It's really weird. There's just no attention being paid to these great treatments that could save lives, documented. But I'm sorry Stephen had such a hard time with it. Had he, taken, the horse dewormer, he may have had a better outcome. I'm just saying. I want the best for him, and clearly he got some misinformation that the vaccine was the only way to go. But I'm glad to see he's back and doing well. And probably could have, if you listen to Joe Rogan and Malone and McCullough and all those folks, probably wouldn't have had such a bad time. Just saying. Hope, but I'm glad to see him back. Here's a real positive story. Let's play this Davante Adams. Tell me a little bit about this story you found. This is really cool.
Yeah. So Davante Adams is known as one of the most stand-up guys,
great
athletes in sports, and he always gives really good answers, really insightful stuff, not just the normal cliches. And they actually gave out a new award this year called the Tom Moran Stand-Up Guy Award, and Davante Adams was the first ever recipient of it. And he spoke at length yesterday about it, and it's a really good answer for them here.
I don't like going through the motions with anything that I do just because it makes everything like you watch the clock at school, it's going to be a long day, so I try to get the most out of everything that I do. And that's kind of something that I was taught by my parents, especially my dad. Like that's something that he was on me about is just don't go through the motions. You got to clean something up. Like just commit to it. Whatever you're doing, you're at football practice, get the most out of everything you do. So part of it is something that's kind of in here. And then the other part is, you guys, y'all have made it really easy for me to do this as well. Like, I obviously went through a tough part of my career where 2015, there was times where I didn't want to, or maybe I even tried to slip out of the locker room quicker just because of some of the stuff that I was going through. But when I look back on it, I didn't love every single question I was asked, but I never felt any type of, particular way negatively about any of you guys throughout that whole process. And y'all made that relatively easy for me to kind of get through. There was no media as far as this group here. I don't like the rest of the world. Obviously, they've had their thoughts and beliefs about me and treated me different types of ways. But this group here, the guys that are kind of around day to day, y'all have made me feel good about coming in here and doing this with you and asking good questions. Even when you have to ask some of the tougher questions that you got to ask, I feel like y'all are, you treat me like a human being. So it feels good to feel that. And then it makes it just a lot more fun to come in here and just chat with y'all and, give you the real me. I just try to be me. I like to think that's what it is. I just come in here and I just really just have a conversation with y'all. So shout out to you guys for, 3 times doing anything. It's not easy to win anything 3 times. Definitely not easy to just give something away 3 times. So this does not go unnoticed by you guys. So I appreciate it. It makes me feel good about coming in here and doing what I do with y'all. So thank you for that, man.
Wow. How refreshing is that? I'll be the first to say, especially in this day and age, the questions aren't always the best. I mean, it's one thing we've learned from the Zoom interviews that, that I've known for a long time. And I'll be straight up, I ask some dumb questions from time to time. You get called on and sometimes it just doesn't come out the way you want to. But most of the time I try to be very thoughtful in my questions and try to keep them as short as you can and let them talk, let them do what they do. You're asking them the questions. It's not always the case. And these players and these coaches have to be very, very patient with a lot of reporters. But I really appreciate that tone and that, the media, they can be your enemy. There's no question about that. But they can also be your friend. If you cultivate the media, and I tell players this all the time, on Wednesdays and Thursdays, the media used to come into the locker rooms and they would talk to players, and a lot of players would run and hide. They didn't want to talk to the media. I would tell them, look, you have $1 million of free PR a season coming into your locker room. And if you develop relationships with these reporters, you're going to get a crap ton of airtime, and you're going to be able to develop a relationship with the fans. You're going to be able to meet business partners within the community. You're going to have a much better relationship with the community and the fan base. And you're going to entrench yourself there, because I'm telling you, it's hard for teams to cut popular players. It means something. You got to play well. I mean, obviously, but if you're one of those guys that's on the edge and you're cultivating a great media presence, that's a plus for you. You're going to make more money. You're going to be better prepared after your career is over. Look at Rondé Barber, and obviously he's a Hall of Famer. But Rondé embraced the media early on. He did his, I did a show with him on Channel 8 for years and years and years. And what happened in his afterlife? He becomes a Fox broadcaster, has a great national profile now. It's a great, if you embrace it, it can be very much a positive.
Yeah, and it's such a refreshing thing to see. And not everybody's like that, and I understand that, and you can't expect everybody to. I had brought it up to you. I just got finished watching Man in the Arena, in the last episode.
Yeah.
Kind of covers. If you go back, remember 4 years ago, that the last Brady championship, or the one with the Eagles, rather.
Yeah.
That was the year that there was the whole Alex Guerrero saga where he was banned from the sideline. And Brady was just nonstop asked questions. And like, he got asked a question on that show, DEI or whatever, about Alex Guerrero. And he just said, yeah, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Just hung up,
Yeah,
and he was like that the whole year with the media. And that just shows you, like, it could be a divisive tool. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
But in other cases, it can be a really positive thing. And I think it's important we don't lose sight of that.
Yeah. And Davante Adams is a great example of that. Excuse me. All right, just to recap some of the stuff in the show today, the Lightning with a big 6-4 win last night. Victor Hedman, 3 points, played 32 minutes and 57 seconds. They only had 4 D-men. And the Lightning, despite some horrible calls last night, come up with a big win, a couple of goals from Hedman. Kucherov, Stamkos, Matthew Joseph was fantastic. Edouard Barmer was fantastic. What a great win last night for the Lightning. They're just getting better and better and better. They got 2 more games out west before they come home. A big thanks to Bruce Gradkowski, who joined us earlier today. Did a half hour with him on Brady and all the quarterbacks. Stafford, really good, interesting listen to that. We'll be posting that up there. You can always go back and listen to the show right from the beginning. Just download our app, FamStream Sports, all one word, in your app store. You can tap that app, and the show will start up. You can listen to it at lunchtime and an afternoon drive, a great alternative to anything else that is out there. And big thanks to Chris Torello. Great guest today. We had some really fun stuff with him. He's always fantastic. So check that out as well. 2 hours each and every day, Tampa Bay centric, folks. We give it to you. We give you real, raw opinions, and we love doing it. And thanks for supporting the show. We'll talk to you tomorrow.